Okay, this video is about tattoos again. I know. Yeah. One thing I will really want to say with tattoos is first of all I can show just one. Here is one. The thing I want to talk about is the color in a tattoo on people with color, like me, with some have brown skin, and my skin gets much darker in the summer because of the sun, and yeah. So the thing that is important to know that if you get a color tattoo, it's very important to understand to not make it light. It's very important. I can see, I can show, like here. Example is if you have example. Always think. I think the best thing to think. Always think darker and your skin are. So example, if the thing I want to say is when you make a color, the most recommendation color is red and green. I probably think many of the tattoo artists will say red and green for people if you have brown skin, and and turquoise blue is okay. Red and green is safe choice because they are very strong colors. And when you have color like turquoise blue, the thing when they do that color is very important to make it strong, really strong, because is if you make the color light. Turquoise blue is a light color, but I recommend to make it more stronger and much more robust, because if your skin is light in the winter, like my skin gets much lighter in the winter, and if you have the same color with the lightness as the skin are in the winter, your skin, the color will very fast be less visible in the sun in the summertime because your skin gets much darker. So that is something that I have learned from my own experience when I get tattoos, and one example is purple. It's very important to understand. Everybody is different. Even if you have brown skin, every person with brown skin have different pigment in the skin. But that was with the purple was really quick disappeared. Like it was very you can see purple, but it's very hard to see that is purple. So the thing with that is, if you have these kind of colors, you have to have them much darker from the start. But because of when a white person get a color tattoo, the pigment is different. Okay, this different. White people have different. There's many, yeah, but there's a big difference with a white person when they get a color tattoo comparable to a person who have brown skin. Because of people with brown skin, the skin gets much more darker and very much faster, and what a person with white skin will do. So when you get a tattoo with color, I think you have to think a different way. You have to think differently. You cannot get the same amounts of color as a white person. You have to be much darker in the coloring, and you are compared to the white person. A white person is much more easier to see the violent colors, the stronger version of the color, because of the skin is white. So to get the same amounts of brightness with the color for a person with brown skin, you have to get the dark. You have to get the the ink for the tattoo much darker from the start, and when the tattoo is healing, the shell of the tattoo will fall off, the first layer. Like every time you do a tattoo, you first have, sometimes you have plastic wraps, and then after some days you take it off, you have some halosans. One example is this. I use halosan, but I will probably strongly don't really recommend this. I think there's some better thing you can use, yeah, for a freshly new tattoo to make it much brighter and this kind of thing. So that is for me, is that way. Is when I get a tattoo, the tattoo is from the beginning is darker. When the tattoo is fresh, is new. So when the tattoo is healed, it's gonna be lighter. It's because of the pigment. The ink is go down to in the skin mixed with the pigment. So if I get example, if I do a tattoo and I make it very light colors, like light turquoise blue or normal light blue, that will make it very big probability that tattoo will be less visible very quick. I don't know how fast, but probably very quick. So my recommendation is that to always start with the darker color from the start, and let your own pigment help you to broke down the darkness to make it lighter. And because if the tattoo is darker from the start, I don't mean black, but I mean darker, like not black blue, but like blue without any white, like but just blue, or just a dark version of turquoise blue, or some green in it, like in the blue, green and blue, and little with it, but no white, because of white is not a good ink to use for people with darker skin. So really ignore the white. Just ignore it, because I have tried white ink with some tattoos, and it's not a recommendation. I really strongly recommend against white ink. And I think some purple have lots of white in it. I don't know how much white is in a purple ink bottle. But I would strongly be careful with every ink bottle that are light color, like light yellow, like lemon yellow, everything's on light, and that are, I think it's very important to be careful with that, with that, because of the white ink, and because the more lighter color you have in your tattoo, the more faster the ink in the tattoo will get less visible in this kind of cases. So my recommendation is obviously red, normal red, dark green, or green, turquoise blue, but turquoise blue, but make it strong, make the turquoise blue strong, and really have something behind it, or make it really visible. Don't make the turquoise blue light. Try to make the turquoise blue as dark as possible, and this kind of thing. And try to be careful with normal purple that you can use, that can be similar to purple, is a red violet. So that is what I really recommend, and so on. And if and of course always look at the ink bottle to really see how much white is in the bottle, in the ink bottle, really, and be very very strict with the ink, with the white in the ink. Be very, it's important to avoid white ink. It's just, I think that is the way you have to start with the dark, and if you want light, the time will make it lighter after the heal. So the dark, so if so the first is it's a bit like, it's like, first it's like dark when the tattoo is fresh. So when the tattoo is healed, the tattoo will get get lighter. So it's better to start with darker, and then when the tattoo is healed, you get lighter. So instead, for the opposite, that you start with light and the tattoo get too light. So always make the ink, darker from the start on your body. And so think like always summertime. Think always summer weather, like always warm sun, strong sun. Always think your tattoo has to always be darker than always have to be darker than your skin are. So your tattoo have to always need to be visible on your skin and from far away and so on. So the better to have a strong, powerful tattoo that really shows. Example like this, you can see here. Like example, like black is very visible on me, and if I can show. And here you can see the red is very visible on my tattoo, because a red is a color that you get straight away. It's like a base color, so red you get right away, red. So I think the best recommendation to always use color that are just base color, like red, green, yellow, that are warm colors and not any white in it. Just red is red, and that is very good because it's a strong color, and that is a color that are very thick and so on. So that make you see. It's very hard to. Okay. I will really try. Do you see that the red is totally different from my brown skin? You can see the red is very it's not very bright, but it's very visible. It's very like almost like a paint, almost like you paint a wall. The red looks like. The red is very on your body. So red, and of course, if a white person have this red, it's gonna look differently. But the red looks very nice on my skin because it's so strong. So the red is always always stronger than my skin are, and because of that, red is so good for that reason. And there is so always I think it's better to use this kind of color, like red and dark green, not black green, but dark green. Let's see, I can show you. I cannot. Yeah, and the other one is like this one, with my. You can see here the black with the other one with the red eyes. And this yeah, you see that, and this tattoo was done in it was maybe 5-6 years ago. So you see that if the tattoo have a darker color and much more powerful, that means that tattoo will take longer time to get longer time to get invisible, and they're gonna take longer time to need to get the touched up. So that's what I mean. So when you have darker skin, it's much better to have to make color tattoos that are strong colors, that are very visible colors, but not bright color, but strong color, like red, orange, and like a dark green, because it's much better just that way, because and the other one is that, so it's not so strong but can work on some people with brown skin. I don't gonna recommend that 100% because I'm not 100% sure yet about it. I have one tattoo with turquoise blue, but turquoise blue is on the there is a complicated. For the turquoise blue is a cold color, but it's still closer. It's still a middle warm color, like they have some green in it. So that is the colors. It's not 100% color. We really recommend 100%. I think it's much safer to start with normal green and red and orange. And turquoise blue, but the color I really recommend against, if you have similar to my skin, reddish brown or brown skin, is purple, normal purple. That is the color I really strongly recommend against, because normal purple have lots of white in it, and so every time you have white in the ink, if you have person with darker skin, is really to avoid that as much as possible. Just when you get a tattoo, make the tattoo strong. Like what I mean with that is just make it how it is, not mixture. Like when you get brighter colors, it's much better to mix up different colors, like green, yellow, and orange, green, orange, red, and black, to get very nice colors instead. I think it's much better to have very strongly visible colors that are very powerful, that really paint it on your skin very powerfully, and try to do that instead with colors, instead for having brighter colors. But it is much better to have powerful colors that are very warm colors on your skin, and to try to do that, to try to make the ink as for a white as the white person will get the ink. And I think that is the many tattoo artists still do that as a mistake. It is much better to make it strong. Like just make the ink strong. Just ignore the white ink, and just take the colors like how it is. Just do it on the skin with a dark blue and make it darker. Like make the ink always darker. Like try different colors, but make it always darker. Dark blue, dark purple. But make some inks should be darker, like 3 steps from black, and make something in the purple, or take red violet instead, and you get purple. But you get a much beautiful, much more beautiful purple, and you will get in normal purple. So like for some, for some colors are much more much better for people with darker skin. Example like green, red, and red violet is a very like strong colors that are very strong gravity, strong colors like red violet. If it is closer to red, or hot pink are colors that are very much more. It's much better to have powerful colors. Like it's much like. So that's what I mean. Is like warm. No white, no cold, just hot colors that are very warm, like burning hot colors, like fire, dragons, and all this kind of thing with the warm colors, because they're gonna look much more beautiful. You maybe not gonna look so bright, but they're gonna look very powerful on the skin. Like example, the red, and I really like it because it's very like hard on with the color. So that I want to say, so that I will say with the whole thing is, if you want to do a color tattoo, you can do it. It's not a problem at all. The only problem is the white ink in that mix of the colors. So when you get the tattoo with color, you just need to tell your tattoo artist that you want a color, and you take that color, but you don't use white in it. And if that is not impossible, you use the other color. But try with red, green, orange, red, violet. There's so many colors that, or turquoise blue, but dark turquoise blue. There's so many different colors that you can have as a person with the brown or dark skin. But the problem is the white ink. The white ink, that will make the tattoo muddy and this kind of thing. So yeah, so take a color, but don't use white ink in it. Just ignore the white ink. I know people love the vibrant colors that are very like cool tone, very but ignore that. Use warm colors. You can do so many different things with warm colors. That's gonna look much more beautiful. And there's so many things else that you can do with colors instead. So yeah, that is everything I really want to say, and I hope this video was helpful in some way. And yeah.